don't know if I can find my way out. I'm stuck in a prison of doubt. In this tiny shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe, and nobody is watching at night. The water rising. Need a friend to shake me out again. Need a friend to shake me out again. I don't know if I can find my way out. In this tiny shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe. Fall into the ocean. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching out. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching.
Hi, my name is Angelo Lopez. I'm a Filipino American cartoonist in the San Francisco Bay Area. And today I have the wonderful pleasure to be speaking to three cartoonists in three very different time zones. Gwen Muranaka is a wonderful Japanese American cartoonist from Los Angeles. Steph Bravo is a wonderful Filipina cartoonist at 10 o'clock at night in the Philippines. And I think Stellina Chen, well, I know she's also a wonderful cartoonist. She's a wonderful Taiwanese cartoonist, and she divides her time between Taiwan and right now you're in Spain. So it's 4 o'clock in Spain?
Yeah, the same, 4 o'clock in Spain. Because my
Yeah.
husband is Spanish. That's why I mean, usually I'm in France, but then since my husband's here, so like I joined him in Spain.
Oh, okay, okay. Tell him we said hi. Okay. So for Gwen, right now it's 7 o'clock in the morning. So both Gwen and I will be a little bit sleepy and stuff. And sometimes my screen will go dark and stuff. I don't know why that happens, and I have no control over it. So yeah, I apologize in advance and stuff. So okay. So thank all three of you for taking the time to talk to me today and stuff. So okay, let me ask my first question and stuff. And it's just basically what are the three of your thoughts on what how does the United States look to you guys right now? Do we look as crazy as we sometimes feel?
It seems to me that the US is going crazier and crazier. Thanks to Trump, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, if I may go first, I feel like the US is taking me on a ride that I really don't want to be on.
yeah.
So, well, during Trump's first administration, I found him really very entertaining. But now he really just scares me. Everything that Trump says or does really
Yeah,
just scares me. Because I live on the other side of the world, but it's crazy when you think Trump is really, he has a say on how much groceries I can buy in a week or
yeah,
how often I can travel
yeah.
because of what he's doing now with Iran and all that. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah. I guess Stellina, how do we look to you now? Do we look as crazy or?
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Crazy
have to
also.
say, like, I have to say that his first term, I remember in Taiwan, he had even some of our, Taiwanese, they were quite supporting Trump. But I think the second term, I mean, they were supporting Trump because he had quite a harsh stance on China. And the second term, I mean, still he has, established this quite of a rivalry between the United States and China. But then he also does a lot of policies that's affecting the world in kind of like a very consequential way, like the Iran war, oil price, and then the tariffs. I mean, it was destroying our business, and then TSMC are one of our greatest semiconductor companies, kind of forced, but then of course we are not using that word to build company and to invest in America, like lots of billions of US dollars. So yeah, Trump is affecting his policy, his every movement, his tweet, his it's not tweet, but his true social media. Every movement of his is affecting the whole world and Taiwan and every corner of the world. Like I remember they say that the Iran war is affecting how much food we can have on a plate, even in the corner of in African countries. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think America is getting. I have to say, like, I don't want
Bad
to be
rap.
in your position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Gwen and I are Americans, so for as
I'm
Americans,
sorry.
we
Yeah,
apologize. Hey, Gwen. So
I know.
how do we look as an American? How do we look from within and
I
stuff?
think we're tired of all this. We've had Trump in our lives for, is it now 10 years of having
Yeah,
to deal with him
Yeah.
and his every emotional swing, his the every outrageous thing that he says. You almost get tired of having to react to it, but you have no choice.
yeah,
And it's just hearing what you're saying about how he's impacting the cost of groceries all over the world. And I don't know about you, Angela, but I think it just still it upsets me that so many people here in the United States don't understand and still support or apparently seem to support some of his policies. And
yeah.
yeah, I think it's just fatigue at this point. I don't know. What do you think?
I basically believe the same thing and stuff. I mean, I've been talking to foreign country cartoonists this past year, and I always ask, I mean, how do we look to you guys? And it's pretty much the same thing and stuff. But it's yeah, I think I've been spending the past 10 years baffled because I keep
Mm,
thinking, okay, Charlottesville, now they won't support Trump. Or after January 6th, now they won't. I keep thinking there's some sort of red line that he'll pass that will make them realize, these policies aren't, even if you're a conservative, these policies aren't good and stuff. But I don't know if that red line exists anymore and stuff. So yeah, the only thing I can say is you know, to um, to the Philippines, to France, to Taiwan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry and stuff. So that's all I can say because I don't have any insights and stuff. I've been spending the past 10 years baffled and stuff.
mm.
I don't know. Is that the same with you? You're kind of baffled too, or
I think so. And I think, having lived in Japan and kind of understanding in a way that I think a lot of Americans understand how very consequential the decisions that the United States makes on the entire world. And folks barely get out of, their little bubbles. And now with social media, and these algorithms, we're even less forced to listen to other people's perspective. And if you haven't experienced other cultures, how are you expected to have empathy? And yet, uh, our leader has, clearly has no interest in any perspective other than his own and his family's. I think in the United States, this kind of expansion of corruption within our government uh, is something I don't think I've experienced on this level in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
And so, like this past July 4th, this is our 250th anniversary, and I'm old enough to remember when we had our bicentennial, and the feeling right now is completely different.
Yeah.
Um, but the midterms are coming. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wildly supported in the US.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. What?
Is he wildly supported in the US or no?
Gwen, correct me if I'm wrong. I
Hmm.
think in red states he's popular, but I'm not sure if he's still as popular because with gas prices and with the war, those are two things that he promised to supporters that he would lower. Like he promised he would not get us into forever wars. We seem to be stuck in a forever war. He doesn't seem to know how to get out of Iran and stuff, right? So I don't know how that affects the support of his support because, and with gas price, he ran specifically because he said that he would do well with the economy. He's doing a terrible job with the economy right now. I don't know how that affects him and stuff. I don't know if his support is economic or whether it's more cult like and stuff, but I don't know. I lost most of my Trump supporting friends, so I
Uh,
no longer have that connection and stuff. So yeah, yeah. Gwen, do you still have any Trump supporting friends or no?
well, yeah, I guess I would say I do. You know how it is. You kind of learn not to talk politics in some ways, and you have to kind of skirt around things.
Yeah,
But I guess here in the United States, we seem to have started to look at politics the way we do sports. You're the red team or you're the blue team. Uh, and it's hard for people to get past that. And then with gerrymandering, you have these districts now where
yeah,
you're not going to, these politicians are not forced to um, have to change. They have to please the most ardent of their bases. They're looking at challenges from within their party and not, oh, how do I try to appeal to a larger constituency? But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess you look at what he's doing in terms of voting and the fact that he must be concerned about because they're trying to restrict who can vote.
yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah,
But I think what I don't understand was that I remember I did a cartoon of Trump. It was during his tariff policy. I did a cartoon of how the United South American actually when they go to the supermarket. So they walked out with the bags, and then inside it's like a bag of grocery, and then the other bag is like Trump in the bag. It's like how much they can buy the groceries. Like a part of them is like Trump's policy affecting how much they can buy, and actually, with the same amount of money, they're buying less and less. And what I don't understand is also the same with oil prices. Like it's also affecting I mean, it's also affecting his supporters. But like, how can they not? How could they still support him, or how could they not see that he's failing the economy or he's failing? I don't know. Is it like is the news, what we see in the news, is a bit detached from the reality of how like American people are actually experiencing in America? Or like, I don't know, they just kind of turned a blind eye.
um, I don't know. I think my guess is that I don't know. Gwen, do you have an answer to that? I don't like. I was saying I was baffled. This is one of the reasons I'm baffled. I don't know and stuff. Being in America doesn't make me any more attuned to America. That's Does that make sense?
I
I feel
guess
like a
it's
stranger in my own land sometimes. Yeah,
yeah, I suppose things like tariffs and the cost of groceries, everybody's experiencing it, so everyone is sensing something is wrong. Uh, and then depending upon who you're listening to, is who you're pointing the blame at. And then you also do have to look at his approval ratings, which are quite low. So we can't say that all Americans support him because I think his approval is at 30 in the somewhere in the 30s, the
Yeah,
high
in the
30s,
30s. Yeah.
something like that. And his support amongst his those who fervently support him has gone down too. So but you always he can't. I guess for
Right.
those of us who disagree with his policies, you can't imagine how does anybody support him. But there's still that very firm group that will support him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Popularity ratings there are very close to the truth. Your
yeah.
popularity ratings are very close to the truth. Here in the Philippines, our president, his ratings are very high. So nobody here trusts the popularity ratings.
Mhm.
What do you call that? The
The
social
Gallup.
weather, yeah, the Gallup, yeah. Kasi everybody's experiencing a high spike in grocery prices, fuel prices, and yet the news are all his camp is always saying that his ratings are very high. But when you ask the ordinary Filipino on the street, they're just going to say a lot of complaints about how they cannot buy as much as they can before. And you know so at least what I'm saying is, at least in the US, the popularity ratings are at least closer to the truth than
Oh,
what
closer
we
to
are
reality.
experiencing here in the country. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
closer to your reality. Yes.
Okay. Well, you
we're
guys are
in the I'm sorry.
oh, no,
We're
no.
also, like Selena said, you guys are baffled by how Trump is still having parang supporters, even if his policies are really very terrible. Here in the Philippines, we're also baffled because uh, we gave the presidency back to the Marcos family again,
Mm.
the dictator family. We ousted 20 years ago, and now they're back. The whole family is back, and yeah, baffled also here how people can still support him after years of oppression under the Marcos regime.
I was
So I
curious,
don't know.
do you see parallels between the Marcos family and the Trump family?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
do you think
Well,
that could
yeah.
inform where America goes in the
Well,
coming
they say that
years?
because Facebook, was it Facebook? They used the Philippines yung election two administrations ago, Duterte administration. They used the Philippines as a playbook for the US. So
Yeah.
when parang we're experiencing the same things.
Yeah.
Why are all the terrible politicians they're back again? How we are wondering also how they were able to win the election. So whatever we went through during the Duterte administration, I'm afraid to say that the US is experiencing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maria Ressa says that we were used as a para experiment by
Yeah.
the US on how to win the election for Trump.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I
I've heard
think what
that
we're
too.
going through, you'll be going through as well.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what we're experiencing. Goodness.
Oh, okay. Well,
Maybe it's also because of the fake news that we get
Mm.
yeah,
that's
us
flooding the
too. We're
social.
getting the same thing and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, you guys are going into the area. I think you've already answered it, but I'll ask anyway. I was going to ask all three of you, how is the high gas prices and the Iran war affecting the Philippines, Taiwan, France, and I guess in Los Angeles too. And I don't know, Gwen, do you know how this is affecting Japan? Or if not, maybe
Oh,
just
it's
LA.
terrible. Yeah,
Okay.
Japan.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything more to add, but how are both things affecting your areas? And do you want me to pick? I guess Gwen, go ahead. You're gonna
Uh,
add.
Sure. I think everyone here and it's always interesting because in California our gas prices are the highest in the country. So
Yeah.
people complain in other parts of the United States, oh, gas might hit $4. And it's like, well, we passed $4 like a long time ago. And now you see these gas lines. and which is why I drive a Prius. That's one way. But that the fuel prices impact everything that you buy,
Yeah.
and so everything we buy is going up.
Yeah.
And you hear in Japan it's worse. I mean, at least here in the United States there are some uh Japan, they have to import all their oil, and it's just gotten terrible, the costs of everything. So yeah, I don't know.
Prices has tripled.
Oh, in the Philippines?
Yeah,
Wow.
tripled. Yeah. It used to be like 60 pesos to the liter, and now it's as high as 100 per liter already.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. Is it
We
is
don't look we don't check the news anymore if there's another round of fuel price increases. We check the news to see how high the prices have gone up.
oh,
So we expect every week that the fuel prices will go up. Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, that's how bad it is here.
Are
The
you seeing lines too? Are you seeing lines too in gas lines?
Yes, yeah, especially when they announce a day before that, for example, they announce on Sunday that the fuel prices will increase by 10 pesos on Monday. Expect a long line
Mm.
in the gas station. So,
Mm.
yeah, very long. One person even died while waiting online, while waiting for gas
I didn't know
because it
that.
was very hot, I think. Yeah. And all
Oh,
the stress and all that. Somebody actually died while waiting to buy gas.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's that terrible.
Yeah, you
So for
mentioned.
every, sorry.
Oh, no, no. You mentioned about high gas grocery prices. Is that because of the fertilizer, I guess, or
Um, well, my expenses for groceries have gone up 20 to 30%. I'm not sure if it's because of the fertilizer. Maybe because we are importing more food like grains and vegetables. Even if we are a agricultural country, I don't understand why we are exporting more rice from abroad. So
yeah.
maybe that's also a factor in why the prices have gone up. Because we
Oh,
are not producing as much anymore here in the country. We've become more service oriented.
yeah.
And yeah, that's one of the problems we're having.
Okay. How is it in Taiwan and France right now? How bad is it and stuff?
In Taiwan, we also have the oil price also has gone up, but I think not as bad as what we thought it would be, because actually the government is putting a lot of money to halt the price surge. So actually, our government is trying to stop the price from going up, just so that people wouldn't complain, and also because they could. And I think there were a few ships that has successfully passed
Mhm.
the strait,
Oh,
and so we did get some of the fuel and the oil passed, so that was a good thing. Um and so yeah, I mean, there's oil price surge, but like not as fast, not as bad as like in the Philippines.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Is it bad in France or?
I think the oil price has gone up for all the European countries, but also France. For electricity, they're a huge nuclear power plant country. So I think for them, the oil price and also the fuel is not as much of a big concern as other like Japan. Like all the East Asia countries, like we all depend on importing fuels. Like we don't produce our own oil fuel. Um, so I think that the concern is not as high as in France. I mean,
Okay. But France, Europe is near Iran. Is the Iran war affected? How is it affecting? Because you're closer to Iran than Asia is and stuff. Does the Iran war if affect you in other ways besides gas? Is it just are French more afraid?
I don't think so. I
Oh,
don't think they're more afraid. I think this is more or less the same as the Hormuz Strait. Like the this kind of dramatic open and close and open and close. And when is it ever going to be ended, or when is it ever going to be open, or you know we were like kind of cheering that finally there's a ceasefire, there's agreement finally going to be reached. But then again, like it's it feels like endless. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I always had this bad feeling that Trump doesn't know what he's doing, which makes me,
Probably, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that causes me a lot of anxiety and stuff. So yeah. So okay, okay. So okay. Gwen and
Mm.
stuff. You, um, how has the Japanese American experience of the World War II internments, how does that affect today's Japanese American community in their response to Trump's anti-immigration policies?
Yeah, I think for Japanese Americans, what is happening with ICE has really, made so many of us think about what happened during World War II. Uh, People being stopped, removed from their homes, lack of due process. So it raises all these real disturbing parallels. And so you've seen kind of organized protests against uh, against ICE, against what the Trump administration is doing. And it's been heartening. I mean, we've been talking a lot about how bleak things are, but it's been very heartening to see organizations and individuals kind of step up
Yeah,
to say, we strongly disagree. And, and kind of looking at the examples of our parents, our grandparents to say, this happened to us, and these are the consequences of these sort of actions by the government. And it isn't just, nameless people. These are actually folks with lives, with homes, who are seeing them, completely uh, disenfranchised. And, so I think it's good that Japanese Americans many of them are kind of coming forward and sharing their stories right now.
yeah. Does it
Yeah.
also highlight the importance of history? Because right
Yes.
now Trump is attacking history right now, right? So
Yeah, right. I mean, it's certainly in terms of what he's doing at the Smithsonian and how he's trying to rewrite history. I think that's why it's so important that every community does as much as they can to preserve and share what their experiences are. I mean, they're putting up these signs, or they're removing the signs in Philadelphia about slavery,
yeah,
and saying that what the Smithsonian is presenting is not the truth. But we all, we know what our truth is, and it's important that we share it. I mean, like, there's concentration camp sites, Japanese American sites, and the Park Service had put up these signs that were saying, well, if you see things here that you think are inaccurate, please let us know this, so that they could, I guess,
oh, I didn't know that.
stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like at Manzanar, if you went to Manzanar, there was a little QR code
Oh,
they put up to tell people to criticize, to say what they're presenting, give people's viewpoints on whether the history that is being presented is true or not. And
oh,
so a lot of people said, hey, no, whatever. But so this is happening in so many places, and it just means that we all have a responsibility to stick to accurate information, share what, your families or any of our families have experienced,
yeah,
and record and document what is going on right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Steph, Stellina, do you know what this is happening in the US and stuff? I'm curious to know because with Gwen and I, we know this is happening because we're here. But have you both heard how Trump is trying to take away history in
I know he audited something in the textbook. Like now now like he did some changes in the textbook or something. But I have to admit that I'm not aware much about that he's trying to erase some part of history, or change the perspective of history.
he is. He is.
What part of it? I haven't heard about that yet.
Yeah, it's like how the Marcos family was trying to get to change the history of martial law.
Mhm.
It's very similar to what Trump is doing right now with American history,
Okay.
so that we don't learn about Jim Crow, or we don't learn about Harriet Tubman or Jackie Rob. I mean, this Jackie Robinson and stuff. So what? Actually, it's the same thing. I guess we can blame the Philippines again. So you know.
Okay, blame us.
Yeah, so what
Yeah.
Marcos was doing in the Philippines, okay, Gwen
Yeah.
and Stellina for years, the Marcos family was doing a campaign in social media to try to convince younger Filipinos that the martial law was a golden age and stuff, and
Yeah.
so they were trying to rewrite history and stuff. Steph, that's right, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
You'll be surprised. There are still a lot of people here defending martial law.
Wow.
yeah,
Even if they have experienced harassment as well, they're still for Marcos 100%. I don't understand either why they're doing that. But yeah, there are no, there are some people here who believe that martial law was a good thing for the Philippines.
yeah, yeah.
I don't believe that, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Gwen, look to the Philippines to what might happen to us.
Did
So it's my turn to apologize to the U.S. for Trump's
did
revision of
did
the
Mark
history.
did Marcos also have this compulsion to put his face on everything? I mean, this
On
Trump,
everything.
well, like there's the Trump coin,
Oh,
there's the Trump, everything is
oh,
these,
Have you heard about that? Yeah, he's got this
he's like
monument he's trying to do, this arch. Everything in the White House now has this gold and
it's
stuff.
all
I mean,
oh my. Not yet, but maybe soon we'll see Marcos face and everything. Well, I've heard about the state fair.
oh
Am I
yeah, yeah,
correct?
yeah,
The
yeah,
state
yeah,
fair
yeah,
in
yeah. Not many people
they
showed
were
up.
sick
Yeah,
250.
yeah. Well, I
Cost
think the
was
thing that
saying it was so
happened was,
successful though.
yeah, well, the reflection pool. He was trying to fix the reflection pool, but it turned green. Did you
Yeah.
hear about that and stuff? Yeah, and stuff. And
Yeah,
so the more he tried to fix it, the worse it got and stuff. So I think it was only supposed to cost like I forgot how much and stuff, but it became a mess, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and stuff. So okay, okay. Look, let me. I'm just. If you put your mouse on the upper right corner, we have 8 minutes left for this first meeting and stuff. So, um, I'll ask this quickly. If you can't fully answer it, we can continue in the next meeting. So, what are you most worried about your countries right now, and what are you most worried about in the world? Actually, that's going to probably be more than 8 minutes, but so go ahead. Stellina, go ahead.
I mean, to be honest, I'm more worried about, I mean, of course, I'm worried about China. Of course, like, China potentially invading Taiwan. But I have to be honest, I mean, right now I'm more worried about climate change because, like,
Mm.
I'm seeing all the news and, like, doing cartoons about, like, wildfire, or, like, typhoon in Asia. Like, the extent of wildfire and also the heat wave in Paris that I experienced, like, last month, it was really scaring me. And I really have this really negative point of view about the future of our world. That I feel like I mean, maybe before World War III or whatever, we're all gonna die out of like lack of natural resources, or like, the natural disaster is gonna destroy half of our. I don't know. Like, really, this climate change is really bothering me. And the worst is, like, no one is actually. I mean, sure, people are talking about it. News are covering it, but, like, no one is actually trying to do anything. And then Trump got out of the agreement, like, and like the record of, before, it was about stopping the world from the temperature going up, and then now it's like that the standard is broken already. So it's like, where does it end? And then
Yeah.
and we're devoting all our energy on building more and more nuclear arms, and like, and the arm race in the world. And then there's so many world in the world right now, like, we're not thinking about actually the climate change can actually end us sooner than all the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I have to say, like, I'm really bothered by the climate change and the wildfires right now, like raging through Europe, in France and in Spain, than any other war, because actually it's right in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Be safe, okay? If you see any smoke, you can go ahead and get
Run.
out of our Zoom. Okay, go ahead, Steph.
Well, I think I'm also worried about climate change and the world we are going to leave for our children. But I'm also worried about, well, Trump again, because the US and the Philippines are allies. So if Trump is successful in, let's say, starting World War III, we could be a potential target. And, well, I don't think we will be able to defend ourselves very well if that happens. So aside from climate change, I'm also worried if my children will still have a country to be proud of
Yeah. Yeah.
if Trump continues on his, war path towards. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
4 minutes, Gwen.
Oh,
What are you worried about?
yeah. No, I agree with everything. Climate change and the chaos that's in our world now. And I'm concerned. I think when Trump won the first time, we all thought, oh, he's crazy, but things will come back to normal. And then Biden came back. And then when Trump came back again, it's this realization that we're never going to go back to what it was before. That's gone now. And what's going to happen? What is going to happen next? And I feel a little bit slightly optimistic that build, we can rebuild after Trump, but it is really up to those of us, and hopefully helping the younger generations to find a path forward. Because I think that's one thing that gives me hope is seeing kind of uh, the activism of the youth.
Oh,
And you don't want them to be discouraged, and you want to, because this is the world that we're giving them, and you feel sad that this is the world we're giving them. But we have to do what we can to try to rebuild, recreate, hopefully better systems. I mean, we've seen, I guess, that the post-war uh, that I think that whole post-war generation, this is kind of Trump, what he has done with it is like kind of the worst baby boomer impulses. So I feel like somehow we need to
yeah.
uh, create something out of all of this.
Okay.
And
Well,
maybe it's
thank
coming from California, where people kind of they've migrated here to find their dreams, and you see this and all this innovation, and so you do hope that there's something there. So I don't know.
Hey, Steph.
Okay.
Hey, how's Sarah doing right now and stuff? Is she going to be impeached, or you think she'll get impeached or not?
Well, we really have a very good prosecution panel.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's rooting for the prosecution. They're really very good lawyers.
Oh,
So I think they're gaining traction, but in the Philippines, things get have a way of going 360. We're up and then suddenly we're down. You don't know how that happens, but
yeah.
I
This is
think the impeachment trial is doing pretty well.
okay. Good.
Um, yeah, so hopeful that she gets impeached finally.
Gwen, we're talking about our vice president of the Philippines, Sarah Duterte, is being impeached. So she
Yeah,
threatened to behead Marcos.
the president.
Yeah. So
Yeah. She posted it online on Facebook for everybody to
yeah. So
see.
millions of
So now
Filipinos.
they're denying that it's AI generated
Mm.
or
Oh, they
she
are.
did that because she was not feeling well, and those threats are not real. But she did say that she's going to hire an assassin and have the president killed.
Yeah, beheaded.
I wish they would do a shootout so they'll get both. It will be a good day for everybody else. So, but we're hopeful about the impeachment. Hopefully, she does get impeached and jailed.
Yeah. Stellina,
Yeah.
Steph and I, we're crossing our fingers that the vice president of the Philippines gets impeached and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, do you know she threatened to behead the President Marcos and stuff, and so we're crossing our fingers that well, we're not hoping he gets beheaded, but we're hoping she gets impeached.
Yeah.
So okay. On that wonderful note, I'll go to our next question. I guess for Steph
How
and
to get impeached too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For Steph and
Don't
Stellina,
watch us first.
yeah, we'll cross our fingers and stuff. But you
Yeah.
know, with Trump's invasion of Venezuela and Iran, has that emboldened China's territorial claims against the Philippines and Taiwan? Is Taiwan becoming more bold now because of what Trump's doing?
There was certainly talks about it, but I mean, I'm not an analyst, so like I have to say it's not, it's not my forte to say like whether it is or not, but I don't think it's China's style to do this kind of, sort of like direct assassin of the leader of a country.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't say exactly that is set an example for China to be more bold in terms of invading Taiwan. I think China has its own plan and is very, meticulously planned for some reason, like the blockade or like using some sort of cyber attack. I don't feel like Trump's, style is very much Xi Jinping's what he would do in terms of like,
yeah.
so no, I wouldn't say so. But then, like, of course, I'm not an analyst, and we never know what dictators are thinking. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get the sense that he's smarter than Trump, and he actually planned things ahead.
but I think he's less. He has this way of kind of like um more like the um hidden agenda in terms of like Trump is like all out, announcing everything on social media and like he's not happy with someone, just like, okay, I'm getting you, like I'm bombing you. But this is not China's way. This is not the Xi Jinping's way.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Which may be good. Well, actually, I don't know if it's good, but it's different.
I think yeah, it's just very different.
Yeah, maybe it's a less stressful way of being authoritarian, I guess. I don't know. It, Steph, yeah, I know China it's been going after the West Philippine Sea for a while. Is it getting are they still um I don't know. Is China still going for, are they becoming bolder or is it just the same? Oh,
I don't
sorry.
know if you've heard about, I don't know if you've seen or heard about this piece of news China has released, where they depict the Filipinos as monkeys wearing the
Oh,
national. Oh, you have it? Well, there's a picture going around of Filipinos depicted as monkeys wearing the traditional Filipino barong, Tagalog, and hat.
yeah,
So, well, I don't know. We're not really, you know what they say about when an enemy is starting to realize that he's losing the argument, they resort to these low blow tactics.
yeah,
So maybe there's an end in sight, and they're realizing now that they really can't do anything about the West Philippine Sea. They cannot win the arbitration ruling.
yeah,
So I'm hoping this is a sign that the end is in sight, because the China's harassment of the Philippines is really getting tiresome already.
yeah,
They're every day they are harassing our the people who are guarding the the islands in the West Philippine Sea. So I'm hoping the end is in sight already,
okay.
because yeah, they're hitting us below the belt already. So it's like,
Once they start name calling us, that the end is in
yes,
sight.
yeah, the end is in sight. So they start dehumanizing the enemy. I think they're starting to realize that their arguments are no longer holding water. So
Yeah, literally, I guess. So,
yes,
okay.
yeah,
And
Okay.
about, about what you said, what China is doing to the Philippines, I think that's more of like the Chinese strategy, like it's because he's doing
yes.
exactly the same thing to
Oh, yeah.
Taiwan. So
Oh,
it's more like a nonstop harassing, kind of like testing waters. He's doing like, I don't know, for the last 3 years, they already did 7 times of military drills around Taiwan.
mm,
And then like kind of blockade the whole surrounding area for like 1 day, 2 days, kind of always doing this kind of like endless harassing. One way to kind of like tire out the Taiwanese the military strength and the resilience, and then another way is like to show the ambition and also like this month, the beginning of this month, China also struck I think it launched a missile that has the capacity of a nuclear weapon.
Oh,
So it's a nuclear weapon capacity, sort of like a like long range missile. And I think it landed somewhere around Pacific Ocean, close to New Zealand and Australia.
oh, wow.
And so I feel like this is more of the Chinese way of doing things instead of like like a direct assassin, like beheading the head of a country.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
or like capturing it and then sort of like becoming the their de facto leader. It's more of like the American way, like Marco Rubio since become Venezuelan's spokesperson, sort of like behind the stage, manipulating everything. Everything has to go through his approval. But I feel like China's is more like it's just different ways of doing things. I mean, sure, it definitely set an example for Xi Jinping to see, how things can be done. But I don't think it is something that he would choose to do.
Is it more like he's testing the waters and he'll see how you react? And how you react defines how he acts next. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. The Philippines, we always look to Taiwan because whatever happens to Taiwan, we worry is going to happen to the Philippines. So Steph and I, we're looking at you guys very closely and stuff. So, so you guys do well. Okay. So,
Yeah, okay, we'll try.
okay. Yeah. So, okay. My next question to Gwen,
Oh,
I've asked this to you several times, but but I'll ask it again and stuff. You kind of mentioned it, but do you see any signs of hope for our country? I know the midterms is sort of a sign of hope and stuff. Is that your sign of hope or?
I think so. I mean, we'll have to see, but there's all these indications that people are very upset. And historically, they in the midterms of the incumbent, they will vote against the incumbent's party, and that's been the historic trend, and which is why Trump is doing everything he can to
Yeah,
manipulate, change the rules, change who can vote. So there's some hope in that, I suppose, and you see these young leaders coming up. I guess there's just such frustration with both parties now. I
yeah,
don't think the Democrats have come up with a real winning argument necessarily, but it's perhaps that the argument is different in every region. The US is so vast that
yeah,
Mamdani works in New York, that his type of appeal is not going to work in other areas.
yeah,
Um, so I guess the question for both of us is what is going to happen uh, in November, and uh, how much can Trump actually manipulate and change the way elections are being held here in the United States? And because if the Democrats can take over at least one branch of government, then at least there will be investigations, there'll be hearings,
yeah.
and we'll see. At the White House Correspondents' Dinner the other night, he had his that he announced that he's going to run for another term. And you're like, oh my
Oh, he did?
gosh,
Oh
Oh,
my
he
God.
did. Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I, I try to avoid that. Whenever he speaks, I try to avoid it whenever possible and stuff. But I didn't realize that
yeah,
he's going to
yeah.
run for a third term.
I don't know. Who knows, right? Because
Okay.
he
Yeah.
says all these crazy things, and unfortunately, because he is the president, you have to take it somewhat seriously, anything he says.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you have to just keep plugging away and you know, hope that we can get through all this. And I guess one thing about Trump is that you see that the speed with which he has been able to change things, but so much of it is through executive order, so it can be reversed.
Yeah.
And so you just wonder when another group gets into power, then it's what are those changes going to be again? Because,
Yeah.
um, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm for the next few months, I'm going to hold on to your words and to give me hope.
And,
Okay.
I
we're both in,
remember.
yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. 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 What were you going to say?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. I was just I wanted to say I remember not long ago, Trump was he was being interviewed by a reporter, and then he just say that like sort of like that like, oh, I think we're doing great. I don't think we need a midterm election.
yeah.
And then the next day the headline was like Trump says that he's gonna. I thought I was really scared that he's gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I think what worries me is you know what happened in Nicaragua? They Maduro or not Maduro, Ortega, he just called off the elections and stuff so that because he has so much power and since so many of the elections were basically fraudulent elections that he kind of made it so that we couldn't lose. He just said, no, we might as well not have elections and stuff. So I'm hoping that Trump doesn't look too closely at. But I think my worry is just that you know what effect will he have on the supporters and stuff.
Mm,
Like will he try to incite another January 6th and stuff. But I'm crossing my fingers that the high gas prices will disillusion some.
Mm.
But I don't know and stuff. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, I think you have to take some hope in that the judiciary is still working in many ways. There's been
Yeah,
rulings uh, against some of his more egregious actions.
True.
So even if he says these crazy things, the federal judge says, no, you can't do that. And largely that has held, I think.
yeah,
And then you look to, I think, what you are doing in terms of freedom of the press, freedom of expression. We're still living in a society where you can actually express your opinion in a way and you're not he's trying, of course, right? Because he's putting all these lawsuits against the New York Times and all of the broadcasting, but he hasn't been able to completely take over and create a state-run media, although we are so siloed and there are these pockets of very extreme right wings and then of course the left wing. There's such so little of a medium a middle ground anymore that everyone accepts as established fact. And
yeah.
um, so I always think, well, at least if these publications are still able to put out these different points of view and they're not being put in jail for it, I think that's I mean, we haven't quite got there in the United States, so I think that's good.
Haven't quite yet, but
Yeah.
I'm afraid that the gap is closing because I think it was just a few weeks ago. I think Trump was taking his jet, and I think a reporter from New York Times
New
or
York Times,
some
yeah.
other, yeah, they say something about the jet is not safe enough for an American president to. And then I think he sued
He
the
sued them.
journalists, and
Yeah,
yeah.
But the interesting thing, I think, is that so many institutions, and I think that's where many of us who opposed Trump were really disheartened that they immediately caved and they settled these
yeah,
lawsuits. So you see these broadcast networks, and he would sue or see institutions, universities capitulating and settling. But now what you're seeing is like they are saying no. Like he did try to subpoena all these records from the New York Times, but they're saying, no, we will fight you in court, and um, there's a good chance that they will prevail. I mean, the BBC, he's going after the BBC, so they're
oh wow,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
so they're saying, okay, well then you need to reveal all your texts and documentation during January 6th if you're going to sue us for all these things. So I think
Yeah,
these institutions are learning that they do need to push back, and then you look back again and again, as you said, I'm not an analyst or anything like that, but you look at his approval ratings are historically low.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he doesn't have this huge groundswell of supporters. He has a small group that are very, very supportive of him, and that's where you get a January 6th, but he doesn't have that broad support in America.
yeah,
He wants us to believe he does.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, if I get jailed for my political cartoons, I hope you guys donate for bail. So, so, okay, okay. Well, okay.
You
Well,
should contact Cartooning for Peace.
okay, okay. I'll have like a can saying donate quarters and dimes accepted. So, okay, different subject. Okay. So, okay. You three are women cartoonists, Asian and Asian American women cartoonists. Has there been a struggle being a woman cartoonist? You know, especially since I don't know, in America it's been dominated by men cartoon, and also um, as well as is there like a women's cartoonist community in the Philippines, in Taiwan, in Los Angeles that you guys can connect to? I guess first, has it been a struggle being a woman cartoonist or no? Oh, I guess Steph, you can go first. Oh,
Are male dominated, still
yeah.
male dominated. And I feel like even with 20 year after working as an artist for 20 years, I still have to work doubly hard uh, than my male counterparts. I feel like I have to talk louder, stand taller for me to be seen and heard.
Uh,
Yeah, so it's still a struggle, I think, even after having a lot of experience already working as a cartoonist, I still find some resistance. Yeah, even in the art groups that I am a member of. So
oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Uh, Stellina, has it been a struggle for you or no?
I think it's struggle enough just to be a cartoonist in Taiwan.
Oh,
Like just let the part like I'm a woman. Because in Taiwan we kind of lost this tradition of having political cartoons in the media. So just to be a
oh,
cartoonist is already a challenge that I had to like look for a lot of media to cooperate, and then eventually that led me to being having friends and having Taiwan. Um, but I mean, if you're just speaking about cartoonists, not just political cartoonists, but like cartoonists in general, we have a lot of women cartoonists in Taiwan. That's true.
oh,
But we don't really have a sort of association or community that binds them together, which is sort of like each of us work separately. So there's a lot of comic book artists that they're women, great ones,
oh,
and most of them are women.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, so yeah, in terms of being a female cartoonist, not just polo cartoonist, um, not really. I've never really experienced any challenge because actually most of the cartoonists are women in Taiwan. And
Oh,
if you are, I think it's the country. If you are like a male cartoonist, usually you're being like surrounded by all women cartoonists, and the male cartoonists would be like complaining like sort of like everything is kind of like custom made for like female cartoons. Like if they have like a tour and then we go out for like exhibition, stuff, and then he's like the only man.
so, but are you connected to the other cartoons or no? It's not really.
We would have like sort of like coffee from time to time, or like a sort of a, like reunion, just have a meal sometimes, but there's not really a sort of like association, like a
Um,
formal association that we all gather around, like sort of regularly.
okay.
Not really. It's sort of like informal gather around, like
Yeah, yeah. Steph, I see sometimes in your Facebook you go to these comic festivals, I guess. Do you connect with other women cartoonists or no?
Yeah, I do. Surprisingly, in those kinds of events that I join, like what Stellina said, there are more female cartoonists than male cartoonists. I don't know why
Oh,
that is, but when you
okay.
talk about editorial cartoonists, I think I'm the only. When you Google my
Yeah, yeah,
name, I'm the only female editorial cartoonist in the Philippines.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
but no,
Petit
I'm seeing.
Gulag, you're the only female cartoonist in Petit Gulag, right? Yeah, yeah,
Well, maybe because I was the only one who was fortunate enough to have my works printed in a major newspaper.
yeah, yeah.
But now I'm seeing parang a reverse in that trend. There are a lot of parang every year I meet a new editorial cartoonist, a female editorial cartoonist.
Oh,
Um, well, I have given talks also in different universities, and I have talked to several female editorial cartoonists of campus newspapers. So I said, "Oh, you'll be the future editorial cartoonist that can replace me in the future when you finish college." But all of them are saying, "No, we don't want to go into editorial cartooning." So how am I? You're my only hope. I'm the only one who does editorial cartoon here in the Philippines. They're not interested. I'm so sad to find that out when they interview them. And I asked them, "Oh, are you planning to have to make this your career after college?" Oh, no, there's no money in it. They're all saying that there's no money in it. Well, there are no more newspapers anyway that that print editorial cartoons. So I kind of understand also why
okay.
they say that they have no plans of being an editorial cartoonist after college. So
Yeah.
it's really
I don't,
sad.
yeah, I know. I'm laughing, but I don't know why I'm laughing. Hey, Gwen, has it been a struggle for you? And are you connected to any like women cartoonists in
No,
LA
not
or?
not really. I mean, I guess I've always kind of followed my own path. I just
Oh, okay.
wanted to draw cartoons, and I was fortunate to have editors say that they would publish them
Yeah.
in their publications. But yeah, I think I am kind of one of one myself. I don't know of any other uh, cartoonists. There are a lot of cartoonists out there, and they're wonderful. But what like editorial cartooning? It's like you say, there are very few publications now, and so many have shut down.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to find that kind of outlet for your work these days, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it a little different for you because you're a comic strip cartoonist?
yeah, and
We're
I've
really,
always,
through the three of us are editorial cartoonists.
right,
We're
right.
seeing our profession, what's the right word? Like collapse and stuff. I don't know if the comic strips are
I
helping you.
think it's different just in that if your work is tied to a newspaper of some kind, it sort of follows the ebbs and flows of the newspaper industry. And I know that's been for me as well.
Yeah.
But I think there are opportunities for self-publish or doing things online. There's a lot of things there. And then I always did cartooning alongside of just being a reporter. So for me,
Yeah.
it was kind of tracking both things at the same time. And there's lots of organizations for journalism. And I know there are you probably know cartoonist groups
Yeah.
that I'm just not aware of, I
Right.
guess.
Well,
Yeah.
in America, there's the Association of American Editorial Cartoonists, but we spend most of our time complaining about how our profession is dying. And
Yeah.
it's, so it's like what Steph was saying. It's like we're all kind of moaning and stuff that, oh, is there going to be? I think we're scared and stuff. I think my impression from talking to other cart is that we're scared about how our profession is going and stuff. So maybe for younger cartoonists, um, we want to see how they're going to do and stuff. We want it's usually the older generation leading the younger generation, but I think for at least editorial cartooning, we're hoping the younger generation can lead the older generation
Mm,
and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, and stuff. So okay, so I don't know. Well, you three now know each other, so you can form your own women's cartoonist community. So if you don't mind the time difference between the Philippines, LA, and France and stuff, you guys can communicate
That's
and stuff.
great.
Okay. So okay. My last question. I've talked to all three of you, but I've never asked this question. What's the Philippines? What's Taiwan? And what's the Japanese American in LA like and stuff? What do you love about your cultures and stuff? So, or do you love anything about your culture? What do you love about your cultures? And oh yeah, I forgot to. Okay, who should go next? Steph. Okay, I guess I'll ask Gwen first. What? Tell me about the Japanese American culture and what do you love about it?
Oh, sure. Well, I think Japanese Americans, like right now is a great example, is this is the summertime, so it's our Obon festival season.
Yeah,
And so all around Southern California, up in the Bay Area too, they're having these wonderful celebrations of, our ancestors. We gather together in this wide circle of dancers.
yeah,
There's great food, and I think the great thing about Japanese Americans is our resiliency and our pride in where we came from. But also, I think because we're such a small group of Japanese Americans are not a huge among Asian Americans, we're a fairly small population.
yeah,
We're aging, but I think it's made us open to other people. We want people to experience the culture, and I think there's something there that people seem to be drawn to, and so that's been nice. I think here in LA we have the Dodgers, we have Shohei Ohtani, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's showing some of maybe the positive parts of what it means to be a Japanese in America, I suppose. And it's not always been easy. I saw what my parents had to go through, my grandparents went through, but somehow we're still here. And that persistence is, I think, maybe an example for people that we can get past these dark times. We can be together, we can celebrate what brings us together and have some good food. So there you go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Stelina, what do you love about Taiwan? And what is Taiwan? What's Taiwan like?
Um, I think the part that like I like about Taiwan the most, or like that I enjoy the most, is that because I very often have to travel between Europe and Taiwan, and every time, I mean, I've been doing this for so long, but every time I did this, the change is just very drastic, and like every time it's just like for me, it's like I still have to spend a few days like kind of adjust to it. Like in Taiwan, it's a very, very safe country.
Yeah.
Like you don't have this feeling of like if you walk at night, you feel like being a woman alone at night, walking on the street, you feel like sort of concerned about your safety. In Taiwan, I never had this feeling. And like if I lost something, if I left my bag in the train or a bus or metro, I always get it back.
Oh,
Always, almost
wow.
always. Or
Wow.
you lost your phone, you lost your wallet, you almost always get it back.
Yeah.
Um, So it's like a very safe environment, and you go to coffee shop, you just leave your phone on the table, you go to the toilet and you come back, it's still there, and then people just put their phone whatever they want to, or like computer, this like there's no problem. You don't feel like you're always kind of like being sort of like you have to be aware of your surrounding. I think that's one of the good thing and also one of the bad thing, because when you go out to Taiwan, there's like this safety bubble, like you travel and then you just like you realize
Oh, it's not. It's
that
not.
all
It's
this
not the same way.
yeah. Not at all. I remember once I was being scolded by a friend. Like I left my purse on the chair and I went to buy something close by in Paris, and then my friend was just like, how could you just like leave your purse on the chair? Like even though I'm here, like how could you be like so naive? It's just like
Okay.
and yeah, or even the way I put my phone in my pocket, like I always have to change it. When I go back to Taiwan, I just like put it behind my, the back pocket. And then like in France or in Europe, in Paris, like always, like I put it in my purse or like somehow. So like it's this kind of mentality, although it's kind of absurd that everyone think about Taiwan is like, oh my God, it's like so dangerous, like anytime that China could have invaded Taiwan, and then we don't know when. It's like maybe we should just travel now to Taiwan because we don't know next time maybe
Oh,
the country is gone. Um, but it's such a opposite. Like when you're inside Taiwan, it's like such a safe bubble that you know, also maybe because it's an island, so it's like a really small island, and everything inside is just like people only care about what's happening around them, and it's just such a really you really feel like living in a bubble. So
oh,
it's nice in the same time, but then you kind of get like a very limited point of view. Like everyone only cares about what's happening in this country, and like the worst news that could happen is like car accident, or like someone like someone there's a robbery and something, and there's not even casualty, just like there's a robbery, something like that.
oh,
We it's like the worst that can happen on the news.
oh, okay. Well, I guess if I ever go to Paris, I'm gonna have to be more careful and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Steph, what's it like in the, okay, it's weird for me to ask you this, but what's it like in the Philippines and stuff? And what do you love most about Filipino culture?
Well, the Filipino culture and community, it's great because of our strong family ties,
Yeah.
respect for elders, and the resilience of the Filipino people. Even through hard times, we still find a reason to smile and make jokes, even if we're
Yeah.
in the middle of a strong like typhoon or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, and also the sense of malasakit or yung concern for others.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What else? I wish I could say that, like in Thai, like what Stelina says, that if you leave your items anywhere, you when you come back, it will still be there. Here, that cannot be. Leave your stuff for 1 second, and you just turn like that. It's gone. You
Yeah, it's
you
sort of the
won't
opposite, right?
Yeah,
classify it as the opposite.
you can't
Yeah,
do that
I
in
went
LA
to
either.
I went to Taiwan actually a few months ago, and I was in Taiwan a few months ago, and we went even if we were out walking like early morning, it's really very you feel really very safe anywhere in Taiwan. So I wish we could do that here in the Philippines, but no, I don't think so. The problem I have here, the Philippines. Sometimes there are some areas where it's not really safe to walk
Yeah.
alone. Even if you have friends with you, I wouldn't recommend walking outside
Yeah. Yeah.
late at night. But we still have the like what I said. What I like about the Philippine communities here, resilience of the Filipinos, strong family ties, and our sense of unity, our Bayanihan spirit. So
Okay. And we got good
yeah,
food too, you know. We got good
yes,
food
of
too, you
course.
know. It's not as well known as other foods and stuff, but we've got good.
Hmm.
The only thing is
Yeah.
our food is avoid the fried foods if you're worried about your health. But it's good food.
The best,
It's good.
actually.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, well, yeah, we got this. We got 4 minutes left, so I want to thank all three of you for taking the time to talk to me. It's given me a chance to learn more about the three of your communities and stuff. And yeah, I hope all I'm did the three of you enjoy the talk? I guess or
Hmm.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely. Thank you so
okay, sure.
much for
Yeah, sure.
hosting.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank
Yeah.
you for putting this all together.
Oh yeah, 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 sure, and stuff. It's fun for me just because in my in the way I'm trying to make an informal cartoonist community of people that I can talk to around the world. So this is kind of cool and stuff. I only talk to you guys like once a year,
Mm.
so but it gives me a chance to find out what's going on and stuff. So thank you and stuff.
Sure.
So so I hope everybody has a wonderful time. For Gwen and I, it's only 8:20. So our day
Hmm.
is just starting and stuff. So I think for Steph, it's what, 11 o'clock now? Or is it 11 o'clock now in the Philippines?
11:30
11:30?
p.m.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry we kept you up so late and stuff. So,
That's okay.
oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
sleep
and I
at
guess the,
1 or 2 a.m., so that's okay.
No. And Stellina, I hope you have a nice dinner and stuff, right? Is it dinner?
No, actually, it would be lunch
Oh,
because in Spain, actually, my husband, especially, he eats really late.
oh,
Like, you know, they usually have lunch around 3:30 something till like 5-ish, and then dinner around
Really?
10 p.m.
oh, that's weird. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh,
So,
What do you
so
have
what we're
breakfast?
gonna have is like a bit of a late lunch.
oh, okay, okay. Well, have a good lunch and stuff, and enjoy the cool weather and stuff. So, okay.
Thank you.